Coach, if you want to start us off just with some opening thoughts about Illinois coming in on Sunday, and then we can take some questions.
We've been since Maryland game. They got a day off. They're still finishing up finals, so been on to a really good, obviously Illinois team. Some people had them picked as preseason number one. Really good players. Obviously, they're 23rd in the nation in points per game, which is unbelievable stat. They rebound as well as anybody. I think averaging 88.5 points a game. 2 players of the year type players, and Teshumu and Coburn. And I really love Frazier too. He's been there a long time. 1,000-point scorer, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, history. They defend. They're well coached. Just another great team in our league, and credit to the job he's done. There. And they do a really good job developing guys. So obviously a real tough test here, and we have to be ready and well prepared.
Thanks, Coach. We can start off with questions from Jerry, and if anybody else has one, just be sure to raise your hand.
Steve, what do you think of Dosunmu? What makes him good, and how do you go about defending a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough guy. I mean, they have, they're kind of unique. They got a great guard, and then they, have a great big guy. So, it's hard to take away everything. You got to do a really good job with Coburn around the basket, how you're going to give help, and then you got to do a great job. Io's gotten better too. He's as good a penetrator as there is in the country. He's got great size, 6'6", shooting the ball at a high level, gets to the free throw line, and is one of those guys. We had Corey Sanders here that just could drive it and make tough shots and tough plays. He's like a 6'6" version of that, and he's 30 points. He can get 30 on anybody. So we got to be on top of our game. We got a lot of defenders that we're going to have to throw at them, and same thing with our big guys up front. We got to give him a lot of different looks. Can't get comfortable. But those are really good players. I mean, they both put their name in last year. The draft, they could have gone. They decided to come back, and they're having great years.
We'll go over to Bobby and then Brian Fontaine.
Steve, how has Gio been after the game, and are you still able to go full go and practice with him? How's his health?
We haven't had a full practice. We'll have one today. So he came back from the game. He got treatment. They had a day off. Obviously, yesterday we just did a lot of prep stuff. So today he'll play. He says he's feeling good. So hopefully he is, and got to start getting his pop back in his legs. So he starts jumping the way he used to. But I think he's headed in a good path.
Steve, this is looking ahead a little bit, but after you come back from Ohio State on the 23rd, you guys have a bit of a 6-day break for the holidays. Is there anything? Do you have a plan for how you guys are going to approach that? Are you going to let guys go back home for a bit, or are they just staying bunkered down in Piscataway?
Yeah, no, I mean, Christmas time is a special time for our guys. They want to have an opportunity to, go and be where they can, or people come and see them. So we're giving them days off so they can enjoy Christmas. They didn't want to play on Christmas, and I understand that. And they need a break. So we'll give them a break, and we'll figure out all the rest of the things that go into that.
We can go to Richie and then Aaron.
Coach, I'm sure you've watched plenty of tape on this Illinois team this year. It's pretty clear they have Kofi, who could drop 30 points the other day like he did against Minnesota, and they kind of surround him with very good shooters. How difficult does that make that?
Yeah, I mean, they're good. I mean, they remind me of the Purdue teams, where they had, the big guys up front, and they have a lot of guys around them that can create space and shoot the basketball. And, Trent Frazier shooting the ball well, and Williams shooting the ball well. Miller is a freshman there that can, do a lot of things, scoring the ball wise too. So they have a lot of good players. That's why they're ranked where they are. And, whenever you have a big guy like that, and they all rebound too. So there's not a lot of weaknesses at all on this Illinois team. And you're going to have to play well. You're just going to have to play well. And you're going to have to play smart. You're going to have to stay out of foul trouble. I mean, this isn't a game where just one thing is going to be good enough. You have to do 5 things well. And that's why they're considered one of the best teams in the country.
Coach, you've spoken over the years a lot about the rebuilding process, and just wanted to know about the maturity of this team, how that's helped on the court. You know, when you listen to Gio and Ron, you know, it seems like they have an urgency that comes naturally now, and how that's kind of helped the success and where the team's approaching the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we got some veteran guys, and even our younger players have logged a lot of minutes, which is a really good thing for us. And our versatility is really great this year. Like, we can move guys around. And, you know, they all know all the positions. You know, but players like, you know, Gio and Ron that have been here a long time while we've been trying to take those steps to be in one of the really good programs in the Big Ten. Those guys understand that the struggles and trying to embrace, you know, the opportunities that are in front of us. But we have a stretch here playing some unbelievable teams. They also know how hard this league is. So it's nice to have veterans. Got to keep them healthy and keep them on the court. But we got to have different game plans for every game too. And those guys are able to make those adjustments from week to week. Hopefully that'll be a really good advantage for us, you know, moving forward. But veterans are always important, you know, to your success.
We can go back to Jay.
Steve, after the Maryland game, you mentioned player development. Obviously, that's been a big success of your staffs since you've been here. But player development's a two-way street too. How do you identify coachability in a player you're recruiting that you know they'll let you develop them?
Yeah, I mean, Jerry, really important, and you're right. It is a two-way street. It's more on the player than anything, because they got to be willing to do the work. I mean, our guys come in all the time. You know, having the new facility's been like huge to us, but we do try to do a good job in the recruiting process. You know, trying to recruit kids that really like to be in the gym. And you know, Jacob Young has been in the gym a lot. Montez has been in the gym. Paul's in the gym. I think Caleb McConnell's in the gym as much as anybody. It's gotten better and better too. You know, I think Miles too has, you know, and they also spend a lot of time. Film is important too. So they've seen the benefits of film and spending time there too. So you try to recruit kids like that, you know, that are hungry, that want to get better. And that hopefully, you know, your staff and my staff does a great job of seeing kids. You got to kind of predict the future a little bit, you know, like with their bodies and with their games, and watch how coachable they are. Ask the right questions to their coach. You know, see them enough to kind of understand what makes them tick. But I think that all goes into it. But the players still have to do the work. And during COVID this year, it wasn't us. I mean, they were home. You know, you got to find guys that want to find a gym when you're not around them too. And I think this group has done that. And I think it shows in how they practice and how they've played better.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Go to Bobby and then Jaden Daly.
Steve, staying on recruiting, usually you're bringing guys to the rack and, you know, having visits throughout the season. How are you kind of compensating for the fact that you can't do that this year in recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, just doing what we're doing now. You know, you just got to spend more time on the phone. I think what we do a good job is evaluating, and no one's been able to evaluate, you know, anybody. So, you know, you're watching highlight films, you're getting as much, and a lot of these kids aren't even playing this year too. So it's just very different, you know, and with the landscape of college changing now with the transfer rules and everything, it's, you know, just going to be different. And what makes it very difficult, I like to see guys, and my staff likes to see guys, you know, compete and play live. You don't get that same thing from film. You don't know who they're playing. You don't know how good the other teams are, but you know, just get them on the phone. You hope that they're watching our games and seeing us, and we play a fun style, and we get up and down the court, and you know, hopefully they do their homework too with us. But yeah, it's made it difficult. It certainly has, getting to know people and getting them here to see all the good things that Rutgers has with new facilities. The people around here has always been a huge selling point for me. All the people around our program, can't do that now. So just do the best you can, get them on the phone, and hopefully they're interested, and hopefully soon we'll have this vaccination and we can get back out to doing what we like to do, and that's evaluating guys.
Steve, after how effective Miles and Cliff were together Monday night against Maryland, how much do you see the two of them possibly out there at the same time against Coburn, and what do you like about that matchup from your side?
I mean, I just really like the fact that I have that available. I can change up lineups. I can do different things. I never had 2 7-footers, to play together. A lot of that has to do with foul trouble too. Illinois draws a ton of fouls, so we got to stay out of foul trouble. You could do that more, have that option more if both guys aren't in foul trouble. I like it. I mean, they both play hard. They're really good. They're unique. In this game, particularly, the way they rebound the basketball really scares me. I think they're plus 17 now on the glass, which is an unbelievable number, to have as a program. So play those 2 guys, our 2 best rebounders, could help us, negate that huge advantage that they've been having against everybody.
Got time for 2 more for Coach. We'll take them from Brian Fonseca and then Richie to finish out.
Yeah, Steve, just to follow up on what I asked earlier, you've mentioned the maturity of this team and how much you've trusted them earlier in the season. I guess when you do send them off home for a couple of days, give them some breaks, give them a break, what is your advice to them? Because I imagine you'll be a bit nervous given, obviously, the circumstances of this year.
I mean, I'm nervous every day. We test every day. So, these kids have been great. I mean, we're one of the only programs in the country that has navigated COVID, without having any pauses or delays. So we've done a really good job. You can't keep them locked up. I mean, they're people. They're people. They want to see their friends. They want to see their family. They got to wear a mask. They got to keep doing that. We'll keep testing them. But, they've been here since June. So, it's not that easy. My daughter plays college, but she wants to come home. She's been away since June, and so I trust my players. I got to trust them on the court with the ball at the end of the game. You got to go make good decisions at home, but also know it's an invisible virus. So, it's always out there and it's always lurking. So trust your players. It's not just them too, your staff. It's, there's 30 people in our tier 1 that get tested every day. So, we get to go home every day. The kids don't. And, they need to have that option. Some will stay, some will see some friends, but, they got to wear their masks. They got to be smart. And it's what they've done all year. And hopefully they can continue to make great decisions and not put themselves in exposure.
Coach, this one's a little bit kind of random, actually. What does this game mean to Paul Mulcahy? I don't know if you know this, but last time he faced off against Andre Curbelo was in the Metro Classic, and Curbelo got the game-winning steal on him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Paul wants to win every game. I know that. So I don't know anything about that. Paul's always up for challenges. Paul likes to play. Paul watches more film than anybody. He'll be well prepared, but I don't know. I don't know how that factors in.